What's up, guys? It is Thursday, November 30th. It's 5:38 p.m. and this is going to be a hybrid crypto market update as well as crypto newsletter. We got some big news that's been released over the past 24 or 48 hours, as well as Bitcoin's been holding up pretty fine right now. It's $37,795. But looking to the right of the screen, we got the watch list. XYO putting on some moves. Big gain out of XYO the past 48 hours. Went up almost about 100%. It actually did go, it went up 140%. If we go to a daily chart, you can look at it. Yeah, yesterday it had a nice pop. Today it followed through even more. And we had reached the 786 on the macro structure here. So if we can get back above 0.0078 for XYO, we could see 0.0231, which is still massive upside. So we're going to cover Bitcoin. We'll go into the dollar stock market, but we'll also take a look at any potential altcoins that are going to start to lead and run here in the near future. Because looking at the right side of the screen, you're seeing a lot of green, and I'm noticing some anomalies, some new coins in the top gainers that we can start taking a look at. Maybe we'll do a peer-to-peer swap into or hit a little levy on it. So if you're new here, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment. Let's get right into it. So we got Bitcoin right now. We're maintaining above what in the previous video market update I did, that 37K. And if we go to that 3-day chart, which we were looking at, we said we needed to we hold the body of the candles above. It was 37,500. We've been able to do that. And we even had a wick down here, and we bounced right off that 37,500 as well too. So that's going to be like our short-term support where we want to maintain candle body closes above for more immediate upside. We have the 3-day sell warnings, but still no sell now yet. If we can maintain above that 37,500, we should be good without a sell now. Also, which is big, and I'm probably going to do another follow-up video for a macro look, is we have the monthly candle close happening in about an hour and 19 minutes. So we're about to see the monthly candle close happen, and looking at this, we're above the 1618 breakout extension here on the monthly candle here. So maintaining above 37,000 was key for this monthly candle close. We could have a wick back down to it for this new monthly candle that's about to be kind of printed here in the next couple hours. But so far so good, because that was that drop off point. Notice how right here was when we broke below on that monthly, that was the start of our big bear market in May of 2022. And maintaining above here on monthly candles is going to be crucial to then head up to 47 to 50K going forward. I do see 47, 50K happening. It could happen in the next 30 days here. But we do have the top of the void line band on a monthly chart that we're running into as resistance. So if we can press up, it's going to be tough, but if we can press up through there, we're going to start to see those void lines open up wide with the mouths. And notice how when that happens, that's the start of the big run. So we're going to keep an eye out for that. But I'll do a separate monthly candle close video for Bitcoin and a couple other coins. But going back to the daily chart, we're maintaining above right now. We're seeing that stock RSI come up. We want to see that confirmed through that 50 line, and we really want to see that TSI cross up. We don't want to see the stock RSI cross up through here, the TSI get close and then come back down, because this will be a fake out, maybe push up and then back down. If that's the case, we need to see that TSI cross up soon with momentum. And we want to maintain above that 37,500, 37K, the lowest, as far as if we want to see immediate upside. If we go to a 12-hour chart, we're kind of just crossing up and down, back and forth, sideways right now. We do have the MACD kind of curling in. You can see here that, we had big sell volume here, and now it's getting less and less and less. We do have a 12-hour MACD red right now. But if we can see in the next 12 to 24 hours a nice push up, have that flip green, and then we have the TSI actually make a decisive rip up like that, we could be in for round 2 on a pump. And that's what can bring us up to the 48, 50K for Bitcoin. We just kind of been waddling our way up, but it's very reminiscent to last bull markets, right before we have a moonshot. So this is so far so good. But as long as we can stay above 37,000, 37,500, the next stop is 47 to 50K. Then if we take a look at the dollar, so the dollar had a pump up here today. It broke through that trend line. Remember, we were talking about that trend line in the last video. We definitely want to see a rejection at this point right here, because that's where the void line band is. And if we press up through here, we're going to see them open up wide, and we'll have a stronger move up here, probably the 200 moving average on the 4 hour. So we definitely want to see, and that's where the 4236 and 3618 extension is based off of breaking above that 786 here. So we already hit the 2618 target for the micro fib. Usually we extend to the 2618. Sometimes we can head up to the 3618, 4236 if we're very strong, but yeah, this would be the level 103.6 where I'd want to see us get rejected by and come back down. We want to get back below 103.5 and then ultimately 103. So that's for the dollar. If we look at, we have the 4 hour buy now, we did have a 1 day prepare to buy soon here. And notice how on the 1 day chart, we actually just retested the 200 simple moving average. So this would be the level we want to get rejected at. We don't want to break back above the moving averages here, the 200s. So far so good. And then if we take this trend line coming down as well too, because we pulled that kind of tighter trend line, but now we're running into this kind of less slanted trend line of resistance, and we're at it right now. So let's look at the momentum. We are curling up a bit, but by tomorrow I want to see this kind of roll back over. So that's on the dollar. I'll be checking the Discord in the DXY channel for if that flashes a 1 day buy now in here. So that's where we can find out if it's going to flash that or not, or when it does real time. Then if we look at the stock market, US Nas 100, we go to a 3 day chart. We do have the void lines opening up wide. We hit that 1618 breakout extension. We really need to clear above 16,200 to maintain our support for more immediate upside. We do on the 3 day chart have the MACD kind of getting weak, and we look on the 1 day, we do have that stock RSI coming down, same with the TSI. So really by tomorrow, I want to see a nice strong move here so we can avoid this cross down. If we can have a nice strong move tomorrow to the upside, this will kind of null and void this crossover, and then we can press up higher. It'll be like a little fake out. So that's for the stock market. That was Bitcoin, the dollar. Now let's take a look at any potential anomalies here with the Stargate screener. And we're going to look at it on less of a day trade approach, but more of a swing trade. So we're going to go to the daily chart. Actually, we'll go to the 12 hour for all of them, and we'll see if there's anything kind of that can catch our attention here as an upcoming outperformer. All right, so we're on the 12 hour chart right now. I think I need to get rid of a symbol here. But one thing I wanted to mention was that XRP XLM was kind of like very boring the month of November, but now that we have a new month on the horizon, we could see them start to wake up. So XRP and XLM are definitely on the radar. The coins that were kind of quiet in November, I'm definitely taking a look at for December, kind of waking up here and showing some movement. So let's see. All right, so looking at the screener on the first one, our screener 1, not seeing anything as far as anomalies here on the 12 hour chart. Maybe if we go down to a 6 hour, we can start to kind of front run any potential upcoming higher time frame anomalies. Let's take a look. And just something about Bitcoin right now, we're actually on the micro 786, and that's indicated by this shaded zone. So this is important to hold where we're at right now at 37.7 to maintain in this uptrend. And if we break below 37.581, we can come down here at 37,233. But likely we would retest the 2618 because on a micro fib, we usually come to this 2618, which is at 36,677. But looking at the screener here, yeah, no anomalies that I'm seeing. We do see Bitcoin dominance would have prepared to sell soon. That makes sense. Bitcoin's been kind of the strongest here over the month. So if we can see that sell now come in, that's when money will flow into the altcoins for that Bitcoin dominance. But yeah, nothing here so far. Let's take a look if there's anything on the other screeners. So IOTA, yesterday on the 12 hour chart, with that prepare to sell soon, IOTA just took off based off that news. And it's showing, it had like a 60% gain in 1 day. Yeah, 60% came back down. So IOTA looks strong. Might be a good coin to take a look at for December for a pair-to-pair swap. It's the only one on here that's flashing that prepare to sell soon as of recent. So IOTA is definitely in the cards for keeping an eye on to swap from another coin into. It's got the momentum right now and had a strong move, and I do expect more continuation. That's on the 12 hour chart. If you look at a 6 hour chart, let's see if we can front run any other ones. So Sologenic, actually 12 hours ago, had a 6 hour pair to sell soon. So Solo, let's take a look at it. Yep, so I had a nice little pop the past 24 hours. If we take a look at solo here, usually these 6 hour sell nows kind of hit these local tops. So we'll have to see if it has more momentum to keep going up. But if that sell now comes in on a 6 hour, it's likely going to roll back over until we see it on the screener again. So I so far like only IOTA on this screener. Let's take a look at another one. So now we're on the screener 3. We got XYO with that 12 hour pair to sell soon. So this all makes sense because in the past 24, 48 hours, the top performers have been IOTA and XYO. So XYO I showed at the beginning, but we'll take a look at again because there could definitely be way more upside for it. Yeah, so it had a nice pump up. It was about 150% in a day, massive. If we take a look at the fib forecaster with it, let's see. And we throw on the 2024 moonshot targets chart. We even have a 3-day sell warning on XYO. So this was definitely a strong move. Let's throw some volume on as well. Yeah, massive volume pouring in as well too. So something it could have been announced or just like, it was time for it. But see that volume spike right there? Yep, so it's looking good so far. And we actually came right up. And what did we do? We pinpoint touched the 2618 extension of the break of the 786. We were hovering right below it for literally like 20 days. Couldn't get above. Then all of a sudden, bam, went right to that 2618 extension, which so happened to coincide with the top of the belly of the beast. So if we can get above that level, it's likely we're going to retest this macro 786 along with hitting the 3618 extension along with the purple moving average coming down and the target of this broader pattern of this W, which would bring us up to around 0.018. So that's a solid 80% move if you wanted to wait until we broke above the belly of the beast. But given that where we're at right now, that's like a 150% move. So I'm looking to take a swap into XYO for sure, into IOTA for sure. They both look strong, and XYO could reach up to 0.08 here sooner than later too. This is right in the hot zone. We have 0.08 and then that's coinciding with the hot zone. Yep. So if we can break above that level I just said, 0.018, then we could quickly move up to 0.08, which is from current levels like a 10x, more than a 10x. And looking at the volume, we go to coinmarketcap.com, XYO had tons of volume pouring. Same with IOTA. So XYO, look at that. If we go to a monthly chart, look at that volume just pouring in, and then it's up 236% on the volume. And it's a low cap coin, 100 million. So to get to a billion, and we're going to see a lot of coins with a billion market cap. So that's not out of the realms for XYO. It's on Coinbase. It's very accessible. So XYO is definitely in the cards for a swap into for sure. Maybe we can see a correction on it. So we'll keep an eye out for that. And then IOTA had a lot of volume pouring on it as well too. Yesterday, if you go to the monthly chart, so it had a lot of volume pouring. It looks like it's coming back up. So we might have to take a look at IOTA as far as a peer-to-peer swap. Looks like it's doing a bull flag right now. So let's take a look. Go to the daily chart and let's go to a lower time frame. Yep. So let me draw the trend lines, or we can just have the chart patterns pull it up. Yep. So classic pump up with a lot of volume. We had our flagpole pull up here. Right, and then we've had our clear trend line coming down like this, and then our trend line coming down like that, and this could be the breakout candle here, and we're starting to see a little volume come in. But if we start to see a bigger spike in the volume here, we could see continuation, and it would be a massive move. It would be, from here, let's copy this over. That would bring us up to around 0.038, 0.40, and that coincides with the fib forecaster as well. So let's pull that up. That would bring us up, right to the 4236 extension of the micro fib and the 3618 extension of the medium fib. So upon this break of that 786 here at 0.20, that's what we saw. We saw our high, our low, a break of the 786. We melted straight up right through that 1618 to the 2618 extension. Makes sense because I told you on the micro fib, we usually go to the 2618. We got rejected, came back down, held support on the 1618 extension of the medium and the micro. And likely, if we can break out of this flag pattern, the next stop would be to that 40 cent area. And then if I go to the daily chart and we throw on the long-term fib, and we retested, we came right back down, retested the top of this box, this rectangle. It looks very good, and we have a 1-day sell warning, so the momentum's there. If we turn this to, it's on long term to swing trading, that would bring us right up to the 4236 extension of the macro fib for a swing trading time frame. So that's the level I'd expect IOTA to go to, but we want to maintain about 23 cents. As you can see, this shaded zone, a fib overlap zone, very important. So I'm liking IOTA, I'm liking XYO. That's definitely where the volume's pouring into, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. So we're going to move on to the news now. We're going to dive into some key news that I thought was very important to share, some exciting announcements as well too. So let's dive into it. So straight out the gate, I wanted to cover Flare Labs. So Flare just kicked off their private beta for F assets. A lot of people have been waiting for this on the COS and testnet. This is a big step forward towards being able to mint Bitcoin, XRP, Doge, I think XLM as well too, into F assets on the Flare network, where they can earn yield in DeFi and be bridged to other chains. So you'll be able to earn interest now under XRP, XLM. It's massive news, and they have a whole article on it. So let's take a look. So it's commenced, Flare Labs has commenced a private beta of F assets on the COS network, and will cover all major components and key user scenarios. So let's see how long this is. 2 minutes, 30 seconds. All right, let's watch this, see what it's all about.
Today, the total value of all public blockchain assets is approximately $1 trillion. However, more than 70% of this value is made up of tokens from blockchains that can't support smart contracts, a critical requirement for decentralized applications. The F-asset system, developed by Flare Labs, allows these assets such as Bitcoin, XRP, and Dogecoin to be used trustlessly in smart contracts on Flare. Minting these tokens as F-assets enables them to earn rewards in DeFi and other types of decentralized applications. Once the F-assets are minted on Flare, they can also be bridged to other networks using Layer Cake. For developers, this means secure, trustless access to a vast amount of currently untapped value and new potential users. To securely represent these assets on a smart contract chain without requiring a centralized third party, the F-asset system relies upon Flare's native data acquisition protocols. Firstly, the Flare Time Series Oracle for decentralized price feeds, and secondly, the Stake Connector for trustless verification of transactions on the underlying chain. F-assets are backed by 3 asset types: the underlying, Flare native token collateral, and either stablecoin or wrapped ether collateral. The process of minting and redeeming F-assets is supported by independent agents. Their role in the system is secured through over-collateralization, removing the need to trust any counterparty. To mint F-assets, the minter must first select an agent and pay them a small fee to reserve the required collateral. The minter then sends the agent the underlying asset, with the stake connector used to prove the transactions taken place on the other chain. With the payment verified, the F-assets are then minted as ERC20 tokens on Flare. These tokens can be used within DeFi on Flare or bridged to another chain. F-assets unlocks the value of non-smart contract tokens. Unlike many wrapped asset systems, F-assets are trustless, meaning there's no centralized entity involved in the process. Holders of F-assets on Flare will also earn FLR from the cross-chain incentive pool for bringing value onto the Flare network.
So that's going to be massive. That will bring a lot of value to Flare and a lot of eyes to Flare as well too. So finally that's launching beta mode. It's going to take some time for them to test it out, and then it'll be live. So that's that. And then we got BIS Innovation Hub head Cecilia unveils new project with the World Bank to speed up and secure development lending through blockchain, right? This is massive because we got the biggest institutions now kind of folding and utilizing blockchain and for aid and delivering lending to other countries. So this is a whole speech and everything like that, but I went through it, and it has to do with Project Nexus. So Project Nexus is what they mention as like the holy grail as to this cross-border CBDC delivering lending kind of solution. So I'm gonna dig on Project Nexus to see if we can uncover any more specifics on what's being utilized within that project. But yeah, so it's all goes back to the holy grail. It's going to take some time for it to happen, but I think by 2027 it's a done deal. And it's about finally the cross-cutting technology standards. So interoperability, speeding up every individual country's instant payment systems, having a universal standard like ISO 2022, launching CBDCs wholesale, and then connecting them through and bridging through a value transfer, value exchange mechanism like XRP XLM, right? So this is where it's all heading to. but there was a whole like conference or like a event yesterday, so there's probably a whole ton of gold nuggets that we can uncover through this event. So I'm going to watch that whole event. It's probably like 20 hours long, but I want to find every bit of gold nugget that we can get in this. So I thought that was very interesting. Yeah, here it is. It was exploring central bank digital currencies, evaluating challenges, and developing international standards with the Atlantic Council. Yeah, it's about 8 hours long. I want to watch that. It's going to be my Netflix for tonight. All right. So then we have Swift launches cross-border instant payments. This was breaking news today. And global messaging platform Swift says cross-border payments in Europe can reach their destination in seconds. They're going live. So that's due to this week's launch of the European Payment Council's One Leg Out instant credit transfer scheme, which went live this week and is powered by Swift. Interoperability is at the heart of everything we're doing at Swift to achieve our strategy of instant and frictionless payments for all, and it'll be key to achieving the G20's goals for cross-border payments. Also, I believe this month is the G20 or G7 annual conference. India is leading it, and I know crypto regulation is going to be at the top of their agenda, so I'm going to have to pull that up as a reminder to kind of deep dive into that G20 annual. Yeah, so this is going to happen December 1st. So it's tomorrow. So there we go. It's tomorrow. So we're going to have a whole lot of more gold nuggets being dropped there. And then I'm going to keep that up because I'm going to dive into that later. But yeah, so that was massive news with Swift. Then we got this. So scientists predict 2024 solar maximum will disrupt world's internet for weeks. Right? We were covering this couple weeks back or last month about how the next thing that is going to happen is to implement all this is going to be a blackout, a shutdown, because how else will you reset the financial system if everything's online, it's operating, right? So it seems like they found the narrative to implement that. But that's going to be pandemonium, for weeks, right? What are people going to do that don't even know what's going on? I can only imagine how that scenario is going to unfold. And also Netflix is dropping this scenario, like a movie on this scenario this month in December. So we'll probably get some gold nuggets in there as well too. I'm going to keep my eye out for that. Then we have China and the Fed to flood the world with trillions. Traders suddenly brace for extreme predicted Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and crypto price swings. This was today. So yeah, I saw something about China about they're going to flood the world with debt. Yeah, flood the world with yuan credit, something he thinks will flow into hard monetary assets like Bitcoin. That was from Arthur Hayes. So yeah, that definitely, we're going to see the money printers kick up again. It's seeming like 2019, 2020 starting all over again, especially when you see something like this. So around this time, 2019, we started to see this pan out, and it looks like we're seeing it again. And now in Ohio, it's the first U.S. state to report an outbreak of this, with children being hospitalized this time. So then we have this as well too. Northern Lights expected tonight in the UK and US due to massive solar storm. Supposedly there's a massive solar storm happening today, tomorrow as well too. That's in tandem with that article saying 2024 as well. Then we have from Mr. Man, HKMA finalizes Basel III implementation date for January 1st, 2025, only a year off, and reporting will take effect July 1st of this upcoming year. And yeah, so we're seeing all these things that have been been put into motion for years now going into effect, and it's going to happen sooner than a lot of people expect. It's going to come fast. Time flies. So then, this is more on Flare. And then we have, so that was it. But I saw this too. Elon Musk announces Cybertruck deliveries begin now. The Cybertruck is so sick. So you tell me in the comments, what are you going to do with your profits? You're going to get a Cybertruck? I don't know, man. I might have to. This is sick. I think he unveiled this back late 2019 as well too. It's so crazy how time just cycles, man, every 4 years. So now we're seeing the deliveries of these. This car is sick. Let me know what you're gonna do with your profits this upcoming bull run, because start planning now. Things move quick. So that's gonna be it, guys. I'll see you guys in the Discord. Link is in the bio for that, and I will see you guys in the next video.